Prashant, what's the headlines today?
Sir, yesterday there was an ambush in Chhattisgarh where our 22 CRPF Jawans have been killed, sir. This is the major headline. Sir, I belong to Andhra Pradesh.
Right. Okay, we'll not, obviously we are going to prepare on the subject, I will not go into this. It's Prasanth, Kumar, there's one Prasanth Kishore. You heard of him?
Yes, sir. Political analyst.
What is he? Political?
Political analyst.
What
sir.
kind of work he has been doing? He's been doing a tremendous amount of work. I mean, what is the kind of work he is doing?
Sir, actually he analyzes, he supports many parties, sir. Many parties are clients of him. So he supports them in analyzing what kind of strategies they need to adopt to win elections.
So do you think these kind of studies are winning elections these days?
Sir, as political science is a science, some kind of quantification and systemization could be done and analyzed, sir, like electoral behavior or what kind of things we need to provide to electorals to win their votes and what is the present trend. These could be helpful. By studying this, he would be providing some inputs to.
You've been following Tamil Nadu elections and West Bengal elections.
Yes, sir.
What are the few things that are very, very important
Yes, sir.
for a ruling party
Yes, sir.
or for another contesting party
Yes,
to seek the attention of the voters and gain votes? What are the 2-3 policies you think that are very, very important in our country now to be introduced if you are in that kind of scenario?
Sir, considering the idealist approach, there needs to be a policy of socio-economic development of the candidates or of the persons, people. But what is happening now is they are giving small incentives like what has been started with TV in 2006. They are now offering ACs or they are offering washing machines, sir. That kind of small incentives.
They would even offer an IAS officer also if there are so many actually.
Sir?
They would offer seats for civil service also. Okay. So this has gone to such a decadent level now.
Yes, sir.
Do you think it's still relevant, that why people are getting, enticed by this? I'll give a, fan to you, I'll give a refrigerator to you. Why this kind of a thing has come in our country now?
Sir, this actually happens if people doesn't see any difference between two parties, sir. If they feel that whatever party may come in power, our lives are going to remain same, they would be incentivized to vote for small incentives, sir. Means small.
So they're going for a quick buck, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any political parties recent, last 10 years or so, which come on the national platform or a state platform, who are doing a different work than this and won the elections?
Sir, if I'm not wrong, AAP party.
How AAP's policies are different now? What are the things AAP has done in Delhi?
Sir, as far as my knowledge goes, sir, in Delhi, the education sector has been improved tremendously, sir. The schools have been on par with private schools, the government schools itself. So these incentivizes people who are well educated to vote for AAP party, sir. If to my limited knowledge. Sir.
Yeah, good. So now recently, government of India has passed some legislation about Delhi government.
Yes.
What is that and how it's going to affect Delhi governance there? I mean, government by AAP.
Sir, actually that legislation is to empower Lieutenant Governor more than the elected government, sir. It has been criticized that the power is being taken from an elected government who are representatives of people. Okay. But the main intention of government is that to eliminate ambiguities, sir. Means whom to consider, what kind of, because NCT plays a strategic place in whole administration of India, ma'am.
So you think one can defend that decision also, if you look from that point of view. What's your option for civil services?
Sir, it's political science and international relations.
Okay, good. So you see, this neighbors first policy that has come in.
Yes,
in spite of having a neighbors first policy, most of our neighbors we have feuds going on. Now, how do you observe and how do you analyze this kind of scenario?
Sir, considering our neighbors, those who are in South Asia, sir, the main thing is the China factor, sir. We are these are being gravitated towards China. So that's why India needs to be more of an.
Why they're gravitating towards China? What are the reasons for that?
Sir, the reasons are economic. Like China is going for an debt diplomacy, whereby it would be providing them and loans at exorbitant rates, sir. So it incentivizes at them first.
Loans
to
at
take
exorbitant rates or less rates?
Sir, initially it would say that they are being charged at less rates, but if we say, if we conclude, sir, they would be piling up and they are trapped in some kind of vicious debt.
So what we should do, I mean, as a country, because neighbors is first, you know, like neighbors love. Love your neighbor. If you have a behemoth like China is there and it's going to grab all the good relationships you had with, because you had a pretty good, in Nepal you had a very good relationship, now you don't have. Yes. And then Sri Lanka we are not having. You know, Mauritius, I think, you know, these kind of places we're facing a lot of problems. Yes. What India should do and what it is doing now?
Sir, India is doing on many fronts, sir. Like it is providing granting aids, it is also doing as per it is capable, sir. But it can't match up to China because it is an economic power. So what India could do is, it could more depend upon its cultural ties, its ancient ties, what it has. It can use its soft power, sir. Building people-to-people contacts, visiting those and helping them when they are in crisis, giving our hand before China gives them. These kind of things could improve a good opinion about India on domestic people, sir. Then the
because you have done you know, political science and international relations. If you see our foreign minister now, is a former bureaucrat actually.
Yes.
We have been seeing a lot of IAS officers, IPS officers entering into poll fray now. You know, and also they are becoming ministers. Do you think it's a good sign? How is it going to help? Will it not, you know, the IAS officers, bureaucrats, they are supposed to be working on like a steel framework, not tilting towards government in power. Do you think that's getting compromised? Is it good for our country?
Sir, it is an individual's choice which profession he wants to have as an IAS officer or as a political officer. But what we needs to have is it any quid pro quo in between, or is any kind of thing in between which is blanketly covered, which we do not know explicitly. So there needs to be a cooling off period, sir. After leaving bureaucracy, there needs to be a cooling off period so that he is joining just to serve the people, not for any malicious intention, sir. That kind of thing needs to be.
But do you think their expertise is very much important? Jaishankar, who is a foreign minister, if I am correct, is a foreign relations expert,
yes.
particularly with the China and US relations actually. Yes. Suppose that cooling off period is there, we may not be able to utilize him properly in a required period of time, because if you see the Chino-Indian relationship, he's the one who is playing a major role now. So this cooling off period, it's not being worked out properly, I think.
Sir, in that cooling off period, someone else who is also experienced, who has completed his cooling off period already, like senior bureaucrats than Mr. S. Jaishankar, they could be utilized, sir. I mean to say, it is not vacant at that point of time. Someone is in the position who is already experienced and matured as well. So he could be capable of taking decisions, sir.
Prasanth, the neighborhood first policy, you know, right?
Yes, sir.
So you are telling China is the phenomenon, right? But we've had problems with the neighbors even in the past, pre-China also. What is the unique problem that India suffers with its neighbors?
Sir, I remember the big brotherly attitude. This phenomena is there present in our neighbors, sir. They think that India is extending its dominance towards us.
Is India suffering with big brotherly attitude?
Ma'am, from
India suffering with big brotherly attitude. Sir asked, what are the problems? What are the suffering with India towards its neighbors? Is India suffering?
no. Sorry.
So does India suffer from big brotherly behavior in our neighbors, or does it not?
Sir, India's intention is not big brotherly attitude, but these kind of thing pursued from domestic people of our neighborhood is definitely an suffering for India, sir, because it cannot extend its soft power towards them. So it's definitely an impediment, sir, which needs to be handled.
See, taking the issue of Sri Lanka, recently we've had a seesaw relationship with Sri Lanka. Why is that? And we've had this from the beginning. What is unique about India-Sri Lanka behavior or India-Sri Lanka relations?
Sir, the past which they both shared, and also, sir, the cultural ties, people-to-people ties are very strong. It is our littoral state, and Tamil people are very much attached to Sri Lanka. So these makes it unique with Sri Lanka, sir. Our relations.
Is that an asset for us or a burden?
Sir, it's both sides, sir. It is an asset if we could extend soft power, but it also makes decision taking and difficult tasks for us. So it's a burden also.
Can you explain what is medical diplomacy?
Sir, medical diplomacy means improving the relations with our neighbors by providing medical aids, like we have done vaccine diplomacy in the time of COVID-19. Our project Maitri, sir, it has been useful to improve our medical diplomacy. These kind of things are called.
Is it only with our neighbors?
No, sir, it's not only with our neighbors. We extend it to many countries. We have sent hydrochloroquine to USA at the initial of COVID-19, so it's not only with the neighbors.
Can you tell any other country which has been extremely successful in medical diplomacy in the history of world?
So Cuba. Cuba has been extremely good by sending its doctors to aid of other countries, sir.
Okay. And in terms of India's foreign policy, what role does states play?
Sir, in terms of foreign policy, there is a term called para-diplomacy, sir, which a state could do with other countries. Like if we see in the state of Kerala, it has its own relations with UAE, sir. So they could build upon their personal relations also.
So can the states be permitted to have direct relationship with other nations?
Sir, until and unless it is not a question of integrity and sovereignty of India, sir, they could imbibe if it is generating good revenue to India, if it is somewhere it is benefiting India, sir, like job opportunities or some kind of resource, this thing, so then it could, sir, helpful, sir.
Finally, what is our solution with the Chinese influence in our neighborhood? What do you think India should do using our neighborhood first diplomacy?
Sir, India definitely needs to have its presence in South Asia, sir. So it cannot back up now. Either way, it is also there that we cannot compete economically with China. So what we need to back up on is on cultural diplomacy, sir, or people-to-people contacts, or the vaccine diplomacy, medical diplomacy, which we can do, sir, which is whatever is in our capable, we should extend it, sir. We should not let this ground to China, sir.
There is a specific change with the foreign ministry did with the neighborhood first policy. Can you recollect that specific change?
Prasanth, Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Right. You are from which university?
Sir, Vijayanagar University, sir.
Vasai College of Engineering,
Yes,
Usman
sir,
University.
Hyderabad, sir.
Is it right? Electrical and electronics engineering, right? Recently, Government of India asked the state governments express their opinion about the Electricity Act. Something, is it right? What is that act?
Sir, that act is to bail out discoms, sir. It is an option that the consumers could avail electricity from whoever they please to. So there is not a particular thing that they needs to buy only from state discoms. So it is opening up of avenues for consumers, sir. They could be, so competition would be increased in suppliers, sir.
So it is also Government of India wants to introduce open market system in the power sector. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Do you support it or opposite?
Sir, in my diploma, I have went to an meeting, sir, whereby they have showed this franchise model, whereby electricity could be franchised by anyone. They could supply, distribute and collect money, sir.
Yeah.
So as presently, discoms are facing severe crisis because of their revenue collection is very low, sir. So this model could help them, sir. It could bail out them.
Why don't you take appropriate steps to generate the more revenue in the discoms?
Sir, it has been done in Uday scheme. There has been provision of induction of bailing of with giving certain money, but this doesn't work out, sir, because there is an element of cross subsidization at distributing level, sir, where the consumers are being subsidized from industry's electricity consumption. So this doesn't work out in state election commission, electricity bodies, sir, because populist policies, sir.
Okay. Suppose if the power sector is open for all, is it right?
Yes.
It may become burden for the BPL persons, is it right? Below poverty line people. Then in that case, what are your suggestions or advices to supply the power to the poor and poorest of the society?
Sir, power has become one of the basic needs like food and water. Power is also now an essential.
Is it
thing,
need or natural resource of our country?
sir, it's a natural resource, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So it's a right of every citizens to have power,
Yeah.
sir. So what we have to do is we need to provide electricity to everyone. There needs to be rural electrification and there needs to be electricity to every house by what has our targets been there. So they need not charge for that, sir. It should be a freebie for poor people, sir. Below poverty.
Do you believe in the bioterrorism?
Yes, sir. I heard about it, but I doesn't have any opinion about it, sir.
Can you give me any example?
Sir, bioterrorism is using some kind of biological material, like it could be bacteria, virus, to terrorize people, sir, to send them the terror vibes to them, like using of anthrax and bacteria, which could be used, and some kind of infection could be spread among population.
Last time when the corona was at first stage, spreading like anything to different corners of the world,
Yes, sir.
some group of the people expressed this only.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It might be part of the bioterrorism organized systematically by China
yes,
at Wuhan, is it right?
yes.
Do you believe it?
Yes, sir. Initially, it has been said that it is a bioweapon from China, but I don't believe that this kind of thing to distract themselves also with others would be taken by any rational country. So I doesn't believe in this conspiracy, sir.
Some people said already China has invented the proper vaccination. Vaccines are ready with them, so they can protect themselves, but they want to suffer the entire rest of the world from the corona. Do you believe that?
Sir, if any event happens, many conspiracies come, sir, but without validation, I do not believe in anything, sir. I just need reason for believing in it.
Okay, being a science student,
Yes, sir.
which scientist you like most?
Sir, I like an astrophysicist of America, Carl Sagan, sir. His
Right.
name is Carl Sagan.
Right?
Sir, apart from science, sir, he has written few books which also talk about rationality in very good manner, sir. It makes us to believe in why we need to believe in science.
In India,
In India, I like C.R. Raman, sir.
Yes?
C.V. Raman, C.V. Raman.
C.V. Raman.
Yes.
Sir, C.V. Raman.
Yes, sir, Sir C.V. Raman.
Okay, that is past.
Yes,
At
sir.
present,
Sir, at present, I have not been following any scientists, sir.
final question. In India, which state introduced the power reformation system first time in India? Which state I am asking?
Oh, sir, I don't know.
At least the second state?
Sorry, sir. Unable
Okay.
Prasanth,
Which was the first reformation committee headed by whom? Power reformation committee.
Prasanth, you mentioned reflective writing as your hobby.
Yes, sir.
Forgot to ask this question. What is reflective writing? Don't
Sir,
you think most writers are reflective writers?
Most?
Most writers reflect and then write. So what is this reflective writing? I mean, it's coming out of your own experiences.
Yes, yes. Sir.
What's that?
It is a personal reflection of an event or an interaction or just a passing idea, sir.
Right, right.
I just reflect upon it, I just rationalize it and analyze it, sir. from my
Any
point
one
of
or two examples can you give?
view. Sir, I have wrote why we need to have tolerance towards others, sir.
Okay.
I just perceived it as we all grow up in different timings, different persons we meet, different books we read. So it is pertinent that our consciousness develops difference, sir. So it is rationally not possible for everyone to agree with others, sir. So we need to be tolerant so that a new idea produces, sir.
Any good reflective writers, this kind of social reflection, somebody has written good books you come across?
Sir, actually I follow philosophers, sir. They are reflective writers.
Who are those philosophers you like?
Sir, I like stoicists, sir. There is a philosophy called
Who is the
Stoicism.
best Stoic? According to
Sir, I like Seneca.
you? Okay. So, what does Seneca say?
Sir, Seneca's one famous quote is, "We suffer more in imagination than reality."
Okay.
So I like it very much, sir.
Do you suffer more in imagination?
Yeah, I mean to say, if we think of what is going to happen, it might not happen in the same way, sir. But we think of the consequences. We go in a loop and we suffer there.
How do you get out of that?
Sir, we need to live. We should not think. We just need to live, sir. Because what we think and reality are exactly different, sir. So we just need to live and we need to just go, just live. Just
What are the
enjoy this.
Indian philosophical, philosophers, ancient philosophers, who are Stoics?
Stoics, Indian Stoics. Sorry, sir.
Any Indian philosophy talk about Stoicism?
Sir, I do not know about particularly Stoicism, sir, but what Jiddu Krishnamurti says is also relevant. Like he also says that you have to just live, just not think about what is going to happen and everything. So,
Okay, Carl Sagan, what is the book you like?
sir, I have like the Demon World, sir. The Demon World, in which he writes about what is science, why we need to see about science, why we need to look about science.
As Carl Sagan books, ideas were used in any kind of, sending rockets and space science. Any ideas of Carl Sagan?
Sir, he was more concerned about knowing about extraterrestrial beings, sir. So he looked into it. So there were researches going on in NASA, sir, about it.
Okay.
Okay, Prasanth.
Thank you.
In the world,
Yes, ma'am.
which country gives top priority to education? Why?
Ma'am, going by the reports, I think Finland, ma'am, because there has been a good, they have been topped in many of the rankings, ma'am. So they provide free education to everyone. They no need to pay.
Why do you think they have been top priority? Why?
Ma'am, actually, it is a matter of how we utilize our human resources, ma'am. So I think they are lacking in natural resources. What they have is human resources. They needs to work upon it. They needs to utilize it, monetize it. So they have understood the priority and they just.
And why our country is not adapting? We have so many natural resources as well as human resources. Why we are not tapping? Why are we failing in that aspect?
Ma'am, this is from two aspects, ma'am. One is from the policy side. We are having many of structural defaults. We have good environment, ma'am. The students want to study. The parents want to spend money on education. But what is happening is there are many structural changes, and also there is a lack of awareness among people also to send what is the importance of education. Why we need to send our children to school rather than work. These kind of things. So both needs to be in harmony to improve it.
See, their teachers are paid as par with the IAS officers. Here the teachers are not paid on par with the IAS. Do you find any difference in their teaching in Finland as well as in India?
Ma'am, I do not think so. A good teacher would be just be incentivized by monetization. Of course, monetary perks are required, but not only them. But if we incentivize, ma'am, more teachers would not be going to other countries. Like many are brain draining, ma'am. Good institutions are losing good faculty because of they are not incentivizing them. So if we provide them that facility also, we could harness our powers.
So what is required on the part of the teacher, whether you are paid highly or not? What is expected from the part of a teacher to play her role or his role?
Ma'am, there is a saying that a good master creates more masters. So there no need to be students, ma'am. There no need to be teacher and student. A good master should create similar kind of masters in the classroom, ma'am. They need to be mastering in the subject. So,
Did you come across any good teacher in your learning who inspired you?
yes, ma'am. There were quite a few in my schooling itself. I studied.
Among you tell me one who really inspired you.
Ma'am, I studied in Nasik, ma'am, in Maharashtra. When I went in 7th class, it was new to me. That culture was new to me, ma'am. I was unable to score in Hindi. So that Hindi sir has helped me a lot to learn the new language, and I just once second topped the class, ma'am.
You belong to Kavadiguda.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Notorious for left-wing extremism.
Yes, ma'am. One of those.
And in the beginning you told yesterday's news is Chhattisgarh, Dandakaranya.
Yes, ma'am.
Is left-wing extremism is only a security issue, or is any other issue related to that? Should we look at that issue in different perspective?
Ma'am, the seed of Naxalism we should see from developmental issue, ma'am. There is a development deficit. That's why there has been movement starting from Naxalbari. After that in Srikakulam, there has been differences between class or between people in monetary terms, in economic terms, ma'am. That deficit has developed, has made a ground for Naxalism to emerge. So it is an social inequality kind of thing.
What is red corridor?
Ma'am, red corridor is the area where Naxalist domination is more. It extends from.
Who defines red corridor? Who gives criteria? Which ministry?
Ma'am, Ministry of Home Affairs, ma'am.
So can you tell me what the red corridor states in?
Ma'am, from Nepal onwards, if we see Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, after that Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, West Bengal, ma'am.
In these 10 states, which states are categorized into severely affected states?
Ma'am, as of now, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, because in other states, like in Andhra
Chhattisgarh,
Pradesh.
Jharkhand, and Bihar also.
Yes.
That's a different issue. Why?
Ma'am, because in other states they were successful in quelling it to a bit, ma'am, the Naxalist effects, but still now we see the last effect has been yesterday, ma'am. 22 people have been dead. Considering this similar event has been done in last year also. So there is still events going on, ma'am, that's why there has been extremist events.
So in your biodata has seen martial art.
Yes.
What is martial art all about?
Ma'am, I used to play taekwondo in my schooling, ma'am.
So now tell me what is the significance of this martial arts for girls, particularly to promote safety?
Ma'am, as we see, there has been instance of rape being increased in India, and there has been many kind of crimes committed against women. Self-defense has also been seen as an alternative to provide security to women, ma'am. And also it imbibes a self-confidence kind of thing among women, ma'am. So we could...
So I wish to ask you a question, really this is my doubt. Disha, the girl is a veterinary doctor. She is in Hyderabad. Technology, policing, everything is available. But how does the incident happen?
Ma'am, this is... the part is wrong on the people who have committed this, because they don't have any kind of idea about what is human rights, first thing. It is not about a woman. A man can also be robbed or be done something. But main thing is they doesn't have any concern about what is human rights. So they have committed this.
My concern is Disha is very educated. Disha is an urban woman. Disha is a doctor working in government. Why she do not protect herself?
Ma'am, protection could happen in a civilized society, ma'am, not in a barbaric society. People have acted in a barbaric way by using force, where one cannot, in a real situation, one cannot fight with four of men, ma'am. So that's why they were barbaric in their nature. Their opinion was also barbaric. So
if 4 men are barbaric, they can come anywhere and commit rape.
yeah, if it is not secure, if it is not safe, if it is not civilized, then
Your entry is over.
Prasanth, you are good, okay? The point, you are telling everything, okay? But you need to add some more zinc to your arguments actually. See, you are good in everything. There is no question you are not satisfied people, at least, to the 90% thing you have done. But if one thing I want to add, you know subject, certain times you are not telling. You are not taking a stand, you should argue also. అన్నిటికీ సమాధానం చెప్పారు. యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ తెలుగు? అన్నిటికీ సమాధానాలు చెప్పారు, మీరు చక్కగానే చెప్పారు. లైక్ మేడం లాస్ట్ టైం అడిగింది కదా, ఇప్పుడు లాస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. That's also good, but you could be a little bit more voluble. You can use more words to use your argument. Okay? Correctly చెప్పారు మీరు. The kind of argument you have taken, it could happen to man also. It can be beaten up. It's a barbaric society. But there I would say that enlightened society is required actually. 100% protection you cannot give everywhere, even US or Finland or anywhere also. There are certain elements of uncertainty is there about human mind. And before that, you talked about stoicism. Your range of topics are very good. And any topic you are talking, very good actually. But don't be, it's one thing in interview that you are telling the point, What board we're looking at is that they're not just looking at the answers, you are giving correct answers. Okay, you should add your own personality to that. So that is very much, that requires, is this your first interview?
Yes, sir. It's my
I
first.
saw that you completed your degree in 2017.
Yes, sir.
You are in a job now?
No, sir. I have been preparing for civil service.
Yeah, what you do is, I don't know when is your interview, at least, if this time it's not for IAS or some other service comes to you, you should add some general books. Is that reflective writing. When you are a reflective writer, I'm sure you have much more depth in you. Try to put them into words. Suppose this 300 marks interview, all the board members will give somewhere around 275. If they give you 175, that is because things you are not expressing. Okay, you are limiting. It's something like I'm giving a short notes kind of a thing. You are giving correctly 3-4 lines. It's very good actually. And all subjects you talked about, whatever you touch, you talked about. Add some more naturalness to that. Okay, your expression is good. Your the way you sit and answer it is really good. I wish you all the best, and I am sure next mock interviews try to make it up. You will do very well. All the best to you.
వాడనా మ్యామ్ సారీ మ్యామ్
So ఒకసారి మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే look at that that recorded interview, you will know. But you are good. Try to add more punch. Okay, and certain times you should leave dialogue open in a subject where you are like reflective writing. I'm sure you can go more depth in that. You should like there are good stoicists in Indian philosophy also. Try to pick big. Reflective writing is a very good thing. They might ask who are the reflective writers. That can lead to a lot of deeper analysis, deeper kind of a thinking. Just think about it. It's good.